de mes sens. Dans tous les sens interdits, j'entends tout ce qu'il faut. Les vrais, les faux et les non-dits.
Hey Taurus, what it do? So let's talk about it. I'm gonna do this really, really quick, but I'll talk more about the astrology and the aspects and stuff like that when we get into the actual video, because I'll pull up the chart and we'll do all of that kind of stuff. Sorry guys, I'm a little rough today. Anyway, and we'll do all that kind of stuff. But I just wanted to talk to did I say hey Taurus, what up? I meant to say hey guys. No, this is Taurus. This is Taurus's video. What the hell? That's just, guys, that's just how my day goes. I don't know what the fuck is going on anymore. So I'm had to make this quick. So I'll talk really quick because I really just want to talk about the full moon and Sun in Scorpio. Hey Scorpios, happy birthday. Taurus's opposite sign, which who they are so much alike. But you guys probably don't even realize how you're like Scorpio, and Scorpio probably doesn't realize how they're like you. So much alike, but so different. So I just wanted to talk about the Taurus full moon. I believe it's happening on the 24th, so like tomorrow night, because I know the moon is about 19 degrees Aries today. So very, busy day, busy moon. Your emotions may be feeling away. You may have a lot going on. You may have had a lot of energy today with that moon in Aries. Also, with the Taurus full moon, it's the time to shout out to my Tauruses. I don't remember. I was looking at the planets, but I don't remember what degrees Uranus is at. So, but the moon's going to be there with Uranus. And I just feel like people are a little volatile right now. Like, people are really being assholes right now. I don't know if you guys, like, I look at the planetary placements, and I know they say, oh, this is training this, or this is sextiling this, and it's great, great, great. But sometimes this shit don't be great. You gotta go on the energy you feel that's actually going out in the world, because these things fall in different areas for everybody. So where something might be going like great, great, great for one person, for another person it's like, what the hell is going on? So I just feel like people are a little volatile right now with this energy. Like, people have been rude. People have been, it's like they don't want to take accountability or responsibility in this energy. This is just what I'm feeling is going on out in the world. And it could be because, so this full moon is opposing the sun in Scorpio, which, I mean, hey, that's why it's a full moon. And full moon is, Scorpio is the sign that is all about accountability, details. I always call Scorpio the strategy. Scorpio will get all, which I can appreciate from a Scorpio. And I have a Scorpio friend who we have a lot of really, really deep life conversations. And I appreciate her perspective, because me as a Cancer, I like get the overall picture. I get the big picture, and I may not always be the best with the finite details or explaining the really, really small, intricate details to people. But Scorpio will pick up all of the small little details that make a thing, you know? So I can really appreciate Scorpios for that. And I feel like with this moon, like, Scorpio is about accountability and responsibility and holding you to what you say you're going to do. My Scorpio friend is big on that. If you say you're going to do some shit, fucking do it. You know what I mean? And with this moon here, I feel like people aren't aware of their behavior and being accountable for their behavior, even though, because with Venus, the lower nature of Venus is just, that could equate to addictions. I mean, think about it. Venus is exalted in Pisces. So that could equate to addictions, overdoing things, excess of pleasure, an excess of defined things, an excess of things that are good. So think of the term gluttony. So, I would just like forewarn people, and Taurus is the bull. So it's like people can be stubborn and all those kind of things. So I think you could be saying, I feel as though this is the energy that's going on out in the world right around this time. So besides that shit, the good part is it's a great time to beautify yourself. You really may feel beautiful or see your beauty in the moon, romantic nights, things of that nature. It's time to nurture your green thumb. It's a great night for that. Don't forget to set your crystals out, your decks out. You know, the full moon is always a good time for that, especially with this Taurus full moon being a sign of nature, a sign of the earth. Give your crystals and things some earth magic by setting them out on this full moon. It's a great time to nurture your plants. Nurture your home. Make sure your home is clean. You know, they say spring cleaning, but fall cleaning is a good thing as well. It's a good time to do those things. It may even be a good, we'll look at where the rest of the planets are and really see about this, but it may be a good time to, some of your investments might be coming full circle. Some things about your everyday life, maybe some things about your personal life, your family, maybe some changes, especially with Uranus being in Taurus as well. And I can't remember because I haven't been checking every day, but I think Uranus was retrograding in Taurus, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. It could have come out of retrograde, but I'll tell you when we look at the chart in Taurus's tarot reading. But yeah, so it could be a good time for all of those kind of things. Just a culmination. I think a time to just be one with yourself, the situations that are going on, take accountability, take some responsibility. And with the full moon that brings things to fruition, you may realize some topics and some subjects in some areas of your life where you need to take responsibility and accountability at. And some things that come to your attention with this Taurus full moon, especially with that sun and Scorpio, bringing light to all the things that you try to ignore, the deeper issues, things you really need to pay attention to the fine details on. But at the same time, I feel like Taurus is maybe doing good career-wise and money-wise, because I know that Jupiter was opposing, and Jupiter is good energy. And even though you do have to work hard for Jupiter too, Jupiter doesn't just give, of course, unless you're like a Sag or a Pisces. Jupiter, you also have to earn as well. And I know a lot of Scorpios who ended up coming up at the end of this Jupiter transit in their sign. So they didn't get all the gifts when Jupiter went into Scorpio. But now that Jupiter is moving out of Scorpio and Sagittarius, I'm seeing a lot of Scorpios getting new jobs. They're coming up with the money, business opportunities and ventures and things like that. It's like they're finally getting the payoff and getting the win that they've been working hard for. And I think that good energy is reverberating across to the Taurus sign, because Jupiter's not really bad, you know, any way you look at it. And I truly do believe that. It's not quick. It's not, you know, quick luck where you just get everything, you know, depending upon where it is in your chart. And like I said, unless you're lucky as Sag and lucky by default Pisces. But I think if you've been putting in hard work, Tauruses, it's definitely going to pay off, as well as my Scorpios. So happy birthday, Scorpios. Happy full moon, Tauruses, and everybody else who's watching. I wish you guys the best. And let me know how your full moon went. And let me know how your birthday's popping off. I know Scorpio season is popping off. Scorpios is about that life. They like, what's up? They trying to party. I know several Scorpios who trying to go out this month. Shout out to my girlfriend. She's a Scorpio. Her birthday is coming up. My uncle, my favorite uncle, is a Scorpio. His birthday is coming up. So they're October Scorpios. So their birthdays are coming up. You know, just shout out to all the Scorpios. Happy fucking birthday. Do what you do and have fun like Scorpios like to do. Get wild like a Scorpio really likes to do. Get wild like you really are inside Scorpio. I know several reserved Scorpios. You know what I mean? So that wild, crazy, off the chain thing, it doesn't always apply to every Scorpio. But there's a wild, crazy inside of all you Scorpios. Deuces, stay tuned for the tarot reading. Talk to you in a minute. Okay, Taurus, so let's do this. I hope you can see the table. So, this reading is coming at the end of October, but like I always say, the energy transcends. So, even though it's the end of October, and I'm going to call it the end of October reading, you'll see that it goes through. It may come up for you later in November, and maybe things that have already happened. Time is not really a factor with the readings, because when it's time and when the things are happening, you'll know it, and you'll think back and say, oh, the reading said that, you know, the reading did say that. So before I start with Taurus's reading, let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Taurus. First things first, Taurus, if you are and astrology will be in the beginning of the video, so before I even get to that, let's talk about just astrology really quick. It's going to be the full moon in Taurus today, October the 24th. And that full moon is conjunct Uranus. I think Uranus is at 0 degrees, which is 0 degrees is definitely a meaningful degrees. Notable things happen in your life when planets are at 0 degrees transit, and when you have 0 degree planets in your natal chart, 0 degree points, planets that hit 0 degree points in your natal chart. It's a meaning of it is a symbol of something meaningful, something significant in your life. And while I feel that there's a good energy for this Taurus full moon, and I feel like the energy is more good as far as it when it comes to money, maybe some projects, some businesses and things you guys been trying to get off the ground. I think that kind of stuff is probably going well for Taurus. But I feel like the energy as far as, and then it's going to be training Venus and Scorpio. Venus is at the 4 degrees in Scorpio. And you got Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. And it might not be an exact trine. I think Saturn and Pluto may be at some of the later degrees, as well as Jupiter being at the later degrees in Scorpio. But I think that Uranus and Taurus conjunct a full moon, I think it's a volatile energy. And maybe not as much as to say volatile, but there may be some discord or disruptions when it comes to your personal self, things you've been going through, maybe confrontation with others, confrontations in your love life and how you feel about certain things of that nature. So Taurus, just be careful of that. And just on a personal level, Taurus, as far as what's going on in your life, if you Tauruses out there are stalking somebody or somebody is stalking you, just let it go. If you guys are getting on somebody's nerves or somebody is getting on yours, just check yourself and move on. I feel like that may be going on for some Tauruses. I know I specifically have a Taurus in my life that I deal with pretty much on a day-to-day basis. This isn't really a personal relationship. It's more like a work relationship. And when I tell you, this Taurus, even though I like them, I mean, I don't have nothing personal against them. And if you guys have listened to my videos, Taurus is one of the signs that I rock with. I mean, as of later years, it seems like I have some discord with Tauruses more than I used to have, say maybe like 7 to 10 years ago. My relationships with Taurus used to go pretty smooth, like Taurus friends and things of that nature. But I've been finding that I've been in more combativeness with Tauruses as of lately. And there's a specific Taurus that I know, and he just pushes himself on me. And he's just like a fly that I want to swat. And I don't have no issue with him. Like, I like him for the sake of saying you like somebody. I mean, I like him. I don't have no hard feelings towards him. But he has the most, I want to say, annoying behavior towards me. And it's just, sometimes I just want to tell him, get lost. Get lost, please. And like I said, it's not because I don't like him. It's just because, a lot of the stuff is see-through and it's just like a bugaboo. And I'm just like, why must you bug me every single day? I think he's married. I think he's lonely at home. It's like he talks about his relationship and all of that stuff. And he's got, he kind of brags on his wife and his relationship that he has. But I can tell, like, you're lonely. You're not getting what you need at home. You're run down by your wife and your kids, and you're looking for something outside that. But over here, ain't where to look for it at. Sorry for you. Sorry to let you down, but that's pretty much what's going on. So you guys may be having some issues at home, some issues in a relationship, not feeling like you're getting enough attention. I don't know who can give Taurus enough attention. I don't know. But sometimes I like to call Taurus the master of disguise. I think I had another name for you guys, but I forgot what it was just that quickly from before I was doing the reading. But I'll go with master of disguise because that's what I can think of right now. Meaning as though you may portray one image, but what you feel inside and what you're really going through is a whole nother thing. So Taurus is, and with that opposite sign being Scorpio, that's not a surprise. You know what I mean? And that's going to be that full moon and that Uranus is opposing the sun right now too. So that's why I said some issues in the personal life, some issues with the personal self. Hopefully you guys don't get in any accidents or anything like that, anything to injure your physical body. Watch out for things like that. And again, if you're getting in arguments or back and forth with somebody, it's probably best to just let it go. and just to walk away from whatever is causing these problems. So that's what I feel is kind of going on with Taurus. And what's really funny is I don't know if you guys watch sports or whatever the case. I may do a separate like card chat video on this, but it was really funny because I was looking at that Lakers and what is that? The Raptors, the Rockets, whatever team that is that Chris Paul and Carmelo and James Harden are on. And of course, the Rondo and Chris Paul fight, which turns into the Rondo, Chris Paul, Ingram fight. You know what I'm saying? And I'm partial to CP. I'm partial to Chris Paul. So I didn't like to see Rondo punch Chris Paul in the face like that. Yes, I know Chris Paul, see what I talk about, threesomes, having something at home, not being happy with it, you know. But anyway, I know Chris Paul had his finger in Rondo's face, but he felt that spit kind of fly. It had been a tough game, you know, for the Lakers. I think the Lakers was kind of feeling the pressure from Chris Paul's team. So, you know, I know that the tensions had been building, but, you know, that fight was like, wow, I'm going to need Rondo to back up off of Chris Paul. And then I was sitting here this morning. So that happened the other day. Like, that happened the other day. I was talking to, I had posted the fight on my Instagram, was talking to people on Instagram about it. Like, Rondo need to back up, you know, what is going on. I know he ain't hit fine-ass Chris Paul in the face like that. You know, this is unacceptable. So, and that was the other day. That was like Monday. So, today when I woke up, and you know, Taurus reading has been on my mind because I recorded like the astrology last night. So I knew I had to do the reading, and the reading was coming for the end of October. And I was like, you know what? The Chris Paul and Rondo thing was still on my mind because like I talked about, and you'll see it in the beginning of this video when I talk about the astrology, but I talked, or you have already seen it by the time you get to the reading, but I talked about, to me, this energy, even though it's a good energy for money, to beautify yourself, for things having to do with the home, stability, you may feel like you want to clean up, you want to do your fall cleaning, your green thumb, you want to take care of your plants, you want to beautify yourself, you may be more concerned with your looks and things like that, maybe making some drastic changes. But I felt like the energy was like a little volatile because of that Uranus. I felt like people were going against the grain. They're getting in arguments with other people. Now, mind you, I didn't even have this basketball thing in my mind at the time, and what I'm about to tell you that I discovered, I didn't even know at the time when I recorded the astrology. But I had just been experiencing, looking at the planetary alignments, and then what I had been experiencing out in the world. I was like, man, people are really not being accountable for their behavior. People are doing things and just not caring, and like physical things, like maybe hitting your car, bumping your car, being nasty or aggressive on the road, or people just not wanting to budge, not wanting to compromise. I see a lot of that energy out in these streets right about now. And so I was talking about that in the astrology. And this morning when I woke up, for some reason, that fight was still on my mind between Rondo and Chris Paul. And of course, you know, it leads to a bigger issue because then there's a subject of, if I was really deeply into basketball like that, I probably would do a card chat on it. I may still do a card chat on it. I'm going to think about if I'm going to do a card chat on it. But that fight between Chris Paul and Rondo, of course, leads to a bigger issue because you have LeBron James, who is now on the Lakers, and a lot of those guys are personal friends, but they're not on the same team. So like Melo and Chris Paul being friends, LeBron and Chris Paul being good friends, and LeBron not being on the same team with Chris Paul, LeBron being on a team opposite Melo and Chris Paul. I don't think Melo and LeBron are necessarily that close, but I'm sure that they have a rapport and they're friends. And the distinction that it causes, because you have the one side of the coin of, look, you should back and support your teammates, but then you have the other side of the coin of, but these guys are personal friends. I know this is the game of basketball, but I'm not gonna fight. And I know LeBron was in a weird position, him being a Capricorn. Because he's all about his business and the court and everything like that. But I know he probably was like, man, I'm not going to fight, you know, the opposite team to have my teammates back when I'm personally not that close to Rondo, but I'm friends with Chris Paul outside of the basketball court. So, I know it's causing some distinction between the two teams in the locker room and on a personal level with the Lakers and that team that Chris Paul, Melo, and James Harden. I don't give a damn about James Harden. But anyway, the team that they're on. So I could see how that could be difficult. So this morning when I was just thinking, okay, I'm going to do this Taurus reading, but for some reason, Spirit said to me, I said to myself, I said, let me look up Rondo and Chris Paul's signs. Now, I don't recall what their signs were. I don't think I've ever looked up Rondo and Chris Paul's signs. And if I did, I definitely didn't recall what sign they were or anything like that. That just wasn't in my mind. I don't think I've ever really had a reason to look up Rondo and Chris Paul's sign. And I said, look up their signs because I bet you it's going to tie into Taurus in some way. So either somebody's going to be a Taurus, somebody's going to be the opposite sign of Scorpio. Something's going to have to do with the astrology that's going on. And I feel like something's going to have to do with Taurus because that's just how spirit works. When I'm about to do a reading or something's going down, the energy comes up. Sure enough, I look up the signs and I was trying to type in Rondo first, but I think absent-mindedly I typed in Chris Paul because I had wanted to know what Rondo's sign was first, and absent-mindedly I had typed in Chris Paul, and sure enough, Chris Paul is a Taurus, May 6th, if I'm not mistaken, Taurus. And then Rondo is a Pisces, but he's a Pisces and a Pisces Aquarius cusp because he's February 22nd. And I said, hot damn, ain't that some shit? So all the stuff that I have been talking about that's going on, but before I even knew their signs, the things that I felt that were going on with the energy for any sign, and then specifically focus on Taurus because that's what we were doing, this Taurus reading and astrology video. I said that speaks to the distinction and the tension that I felt was coming with this moon in the same sign as Uranus and actually being in a conjunction with Uranus. And I guess you can call it a pretty tight conjunction because they are the transit conjunction is about 3 degrees apart. Uranus is retrograding, so Uranus is at 0 degrees, and then Uranus is retrograding on top of that. So Uranus is at 0 degrees of Taurus, and the moon is at like 4. The moon moves quick, so this conjunction won't be going on for long. But I would just say, watch yourselves, watch arguing with family. And as an example, how that fight wasn't just a simple fight between two players. It's like the whole team gets involved. And then a lot of times you'll have fights on a basketball court, but then it's really it is going to get carried outside the court because it's personal. And it's probably going to affect the Lakers' performance for the season because here you have LeBron, who's just starting with the Lakers this season. It was his starting game with the Lakers, the first game. And then you're going to have this tension that carries through the season because these guys are friends outside of basketball in their personal lives. So it just wasn't a simple work fight, a basketball fight. It's some shit that now you got to go home and deal with. And then on top of that, Chris Paul's wife and Rondo's girlfriend and family had got into it in the stands. So that just goes to tell you how personal it's getting. And they got into it in the stands because I believe Chris Paul's wife was sitting in a section where the Lakers people were sitting. That's why she was so close to Rondo's people and able to get into this fight because she was there with Savannah, who was sitting in the Lakers side of the stands or section or whatever the case. And had she not been, that probably wouldn't happen. So that just goes to show you how personal it is. Because Chris Paul and LeBron are good friends and the wives are good friends and we're sitting together, this thing is spiraling more into a personal and a bigger issue. So Taurus, you may find that you have some issues with family, some things that are going on, and the issue might just be bigger than you and another person. You may find that the issue is like a bigger issue than you thought it was. But hopefully it doesn't last long. It's a full moon, and although full moons can last for some weeks, even longer depending on what's going on, I hope the energy dissipates and you guys kind of get things together because it's never good to have tension and all of that. But like I said, on the upside, I feel like it's good energy for the money and some things having to do with businesses, something that you may have wanted to do business-wise may be coming to fruition or something like that. So that's the good side of the energy. So with that said, let's go ahead and see. Woo! I talked about relationships. I'm telling you, y'all, these cards is a goddamn trip. They is a motherfucking trip. I just talked about Taurus, relationships, distension, and fighting, Guys, if anybody is out there is into tarot cards, or you read tarot cards, I really don't. I'm just setting the video up again. I had to go delete. I thought I was gonna have enough space in my phone, but I had to go delete some videos to be able to keep doing the reading. So I don't know why I just don't do it on my computer. It's easier to upload to YouTube from my phone. But for those of you who don't read, I don't know where I left off with a video cut. But for those of you who don't read tarot or don't know cards, I'm talking about Taurus, and the Taurus card came out. And I said I feel like it was going to be probably relationship issues that spilled over into family issues and bigger issues. You got a partner card. You got a queen card right there. So that could speak of if you're a Taurus guy, the person that you're with, girlfriend, wife, a family member, something like that. And then here's a relationship card, the Two of Cups. There may be a third party, and a third party doesn't have to necessarily mean somebody you're having sex with or somebody you're involved with. You could be just emotionally involved with a person, or there could be a family member that's intervening in your relationship, and you got to make a decision about what you're going to choose. And didn't I fucking just talk about the whole point of me talking about that basketball shit was really about decisions and having to choose, having to pick a side. You got to pick. It's like LeBron is in his family. And mind you, LeBron is a Capricorn. Chris Paul is a Taurus. They're good friends. It's almost like, and Rondo is the Pisces. So you may be having a situation where you're dealing with another earth sign and a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. You may be dealing with, in a relationship with another earth sign, Virgo, or Capricorn, or another Taurus. It's almost like you got to pick a side once and for all, how you really feel and what you really going to do. And then we got not looking forward, looking to the past at some tragic event that happened. It's something that happened that really fucked you up, Taurus, that you're not quite over. Something that you lost, or a start or a beginning, or something that was very passionate at a certain time, just coming to an end, or a final judgment call being made on that you can't change. And you kind of fighting it. But by you fighting it, how you really feel is coming out. What you really feel is coming out. And again, I talked about Taurus being the master of disguise. How you say you feel and how you really feel are sometimes two different things, because earth signs don't tend to be the most expressive signs, especially Taurus, because a lot of times they hold their feelings in. A lot of times they don't tend to be the most expressive signs. You might not be expressing either romantic feelings that you have towards somebody or that you don't have towards somebody. There may be an issue with the chemistry that you have towards somebody, and maybe you need somebody to give you some space to open up and kind of be who you are and deal with these feelings that you have. Because a lot of times Taurus won't express how they really feel, but they will keep up appearances, and that's what happens a lot of times with Taurus. But like I said, I felt like your money, this says raise or promotion. I feel like your money, or whatever businesses you're involved in, invested in, or that you got going on, or you may have been working on, or going through that's where the energy is good at. That's where the energy is good at when it comes to the money and businesses, and maybe you getting into business for yourself, or something of that nature. So that's where the energy is good at. But it's definitely about partnerships. This says pay yourself first, but I'm looking at it more like put yourself first. Attraction, not chasing. You're chasing a feeling. You're chasing something that you're not getting. And I just talked about the Taurus that I know. He puts on this front like, oh, the home life is and he's in a relationship with a Capricorn. funny. You see more things come out as we do the reading and as we get into the reading. He's in a relationship with a Capricorn, and he puts on like, and I feel like a lot of times when you're in a relationship with your same element, it's to learn a lesson. It's to learn a lesson, maybe a karmic lesson. And he puts on like it's all good or whatever, but by the things he does daily, how much he's on my wheels, even when I am very mean to him. Tauruses are the bull. They're very stubborn. It's hard to move them. Sometimes something can be right in front of their face, and they're very like spiritually connected. Tauruses know things. They do have a good spiritual, I don't want to say psychic kind of thing going on, because who knows, that's on an individual basis, but they do have a very good intuition, like a very good knowing. So it's not that they don't know things, but a lot of times they may not want to see something or see the best way to go or something like that. And even though I can be very mean and dismissive to this Taurus, because at a certain point it's kind of like, leave me alone. I mean, that's really just the bottom line. Leave me alone. I like you, you cool, but I don't like you that much. It ain't like that. Leave me alone and go find something to do with yourself. It's like just wanting to find a reason to talk. Just wanting to go into this whole diatribe about whatever he feels like talking about that day. Then I don't have the time. It's not even about wanting to listen to it, because I don't. But I don't even have the time for that. You know what I'm saying? And they just come to me with the craziest stuff. And then they also try to get away or try to do a lot of things that they think you don't notice. That's just obvious. You know what I mean? And I've seen a theme. Now, to me, Capricorns and Virgos are like the very, very hard, diligent workers. Tauruses succeed because they're hard workers and they believe in what they do, but they succeed through tenacity. Like, they will stick with something and they will do it over and over and over again. And Taurus is good with making good people connections. So I feel like Taurus, unlike Capricorn and Virgo, Taurus is liable a lot of times to get ahead because of who they know, or to get opportunities because of who they know, not necessarily because they do the greatest job or anything like that. I mean, Venus is their ruler, so it can bestow certain material gifts, and I feel like that's how Taurus comes up a lot of times, through some form of luck coming from Venus. But you know, Taurus, you may just have to watch out for the distractions, and really be more conscious of your actions and what you're doing. And there may be some Tauruses who need to change their diet, who need to change their eating habits. I know Tauruses like to eat. Tauruses like the food. This is the clean energy food card. So you may need to change your diets. Maybe you need to cut out meat, red meat. Maybe you need to go towards a more cleaner eating and a cleaner diet. And I think you guys are going to be working on something monetary wise. This is block out distractions and deservingness, just to understand that you do have blessings that have come into your life, and whatever that's going on with you right now, you deserve it, and you need to let go of the guilt. You've earned whatever situation is going on. This is let go of guilt. Whatever situation that is going on in your life, you've earned it. It's your time to take that opportunity and do the best that you can with it. And if it's something that you may not be happy with, or that you may not necessarily like what's going on, then you need to let things come to you instead of chasing them. And that's what I'm kind of talking about. This Taurus that I know, it's like a chasing. He's chasing me. He won't leave me the fuck alone. But relationships flow smoother, and you get the things that are meant for you when you come to them. A lot of times when you go after things and you pursue things very aggressively, which Tauruses can do, Tauruses can be very aggressive when it comes to their personal relationships, pursuing a love interest or something like that. A lot of times you find out it's not what it's cracked up to be. And I feel like for the direction you're going in, Taurus, this is conscious consumer and pay yourself first. You're really going to have to hold on to your money and make the most of your money. So if you got a lump sum of money, if you have some money coming in, you need to make wise decisions when it comes to that money, because you're going to need it later, and I would say invest it so that you can continue to see that money work for you. So that's kind of what you need to do if you're wondering what you need to do with your finances. If you have any sort of money or finances or business opportunities that have taken off, you need to invest them so it's paying back into yourself, instead of going out and spending all of your money in a place where it doesn't need to be spent. But I definitely feel like Tauruses maybe have some romantic feelings that they're hiding, and you may be wanting to explore something outside of your main relationship. So again, like I talked about, Taurus is just having some issues that are going on a home front or something like that. And at the same time, every Taurus situation isn't necessarily a situation that's on a half and half, or like a negative situation or anything like that. You may have met somebody that you may have met somebody new that you want to explore your feelings with. You want to see what direction is going in and things like that. So Tauruses, are you guys, I feel like you guys may be fighting off a secret. You may be fighting off something from your past. You may be holding on to a certain image or something like that that you don't want people to know. But I feel like the truths and the decisions, you're kind of being put on the spot. So Taurus, you may be being put on the spot by a fire sign, a Taurus, a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. This is a Leo, Sagittarius, Aries female, and it also may be a person that wants a commitment from you. If there are some Tauruses that are in relationships and you're deciding about do you really want this commitment, or who do you want this commitment with? So maybe there are some Tauruses that have had to choose between two people and to be committed to one person. And you may find that after you've made this decision, you could either have made this decision after something traumatic happened, after something negative happened, maybe leaving a home, moving out of a home, splitting with a partnership or something like that. And that decision may have been based on a lot of passion that was going on in the relationship. The Ace of Wands, the staff, it looks like a penis. It always gives me sexual passion or the lack thereof. Maybe you lost one passion in one relationship and you found a passion in the other relationship. But I feel like with the Judgment card on top of that, you're going to see that there's some kind of news, there's some kind of information, there's some kind of fight that's being put up when it comes to some decisions that you have made. And there is heavy Sagittarius energy in the spreads. You got the Judgment card, which represents Sagittarius, and then you got the Queen of Wands. And I can't remember if the Queen of Wands is specifically Sagittarius, but it could represent any fire sign, or the person you're dealing with has fire sign like energy. And when I spoke of the water sign, here's the water energy in the spread, the Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So, and we got a little air in the spread too, with the Two of Swords, and making a decision. And you may not, you may be holding a lot of information to yourself, even though you're being put on spot by a partner, a job, family members. It's like, we want to know what's going on. What direction are you taking? Are you staying in solitude, holding the information in? But people want to know what's going on with this issue. And then we have the other water sign energy here. This could be Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. A lot of times, I'm a Cancer. I view myself as a high priestess a lot of times, but it could be Scorpio or Pisces as well. So just you guys could be combating feelings or combating a relationship that you've had with this energy, with this water sign energy. Or you could be with a person that has a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. When I talk about the signs, it does not always have to be the sun. So I know we talked about Sagittarius, Leo, Aries, but it doesn't necessarily have to be their sun. And the water sign representation doesn't necessarily have to be their sun either. It could be where that energy falls at another place in their chart. But also with the Ace of Wands in reverse and the Seven of Wands in reverse, those are fire sign energies as well. So just fighting back a passion. There could be some impotency going on with some Tauruses out there. You could not be getting it up like you used to. If you're a female, maybe this is going on with your Taurus partner. Maybe there's a decision that you made or something that's going on that has kind of shook the foundation of your relationship, but it's something that you saw coming. I also forgot the Two of Wands is fire energy as well. And that Two of Wands in reverse takes you right back to that Ace of Wands in reverse. So it's not moving ahead. It's not moving on. If you had a new beginning or you've started some kind of new relationship, it is really, I see a lot of lack of energy to move on. A lack of energy to get over something that has happened. Some kind of upheaval, some kind of something that's going on with your foundation. And like I said, there definitely may be some Tauruses out there that are having to make a choice or decision between two different people. But Taurus, your energy and a partner's energy is definitely here. And you may be trying to hold your partner to certain standards that they may not be comfortable with, or maybe they have to make a decision about something. Maybe your partner does. But I feel like, in this spread, and I'm just taking a look at it to see what else I can pull out in this spread. I don't want to make it too long. You guys may be looking for something that sparks, that somebody who listens to you. Maybe you guys need somebody you can talk to. Maybe you need somebody who sparks your creativity and your passion again. And maybe that's what you guys are looking for. Maybe Taurus, maybe you guys really need to be more active when it comes to your creativity. If you're artistic and you do something artistic, and I know a lot of Tauruses have talent in drawing and music, you guys may need to pursue something like that. Open up your mind. But I think you are finding yourself having romantic feelings for somebody outside of your relationship. That may be the issue as well too. Or maybe you guys, somebody is making a decision not to have sex at home. Maybe that's what's happening, is your relationship could be sexless or something like that. Or somebody is, you definitely have people poking at you and fighting at you, and you feel yourself drawn in different directions with the decisions that you have to make. I definitely feel that with that Seven of Wands, guys. And the Seven of Wands came out in reverse, and you're staying on top of it. You're holding everything in. You're trying to keep your balance, but at a certain point, you're going to have to face those issues, come face to face with those things. I just want to see what's on the bottom of the deck. Damn. More energy. This is Aries, the Emperor. And this could be you guys, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or any other sign that you have heavy energy, 2, 3 planets in your chart. This is the Emperor. So there is a lot going on with standing your ground, making wise decisions, making decisions that are going to affect your future, making decisions from an experience point of view, looking back at what you've been through and making the best decisions for your future. Because you've been there. You've been through it all. You've been through it. So now you got to make some decisions. You got to put your foot down with people in your life that are coming at you, Taurus. I definitely feel this. And this is going on in the home, in the family. It's going on. And people are probably coming at you, Taurus. It's some things that's going on that's coming at you. And you may have some chaos going on different levels. And maybe it's because you made a decision not to go ahead with something, not to do something, because this speaks of finality and decisions with the Judgment card. This speaks of finality and decisions and coming to conclusions and making a decision about things that's going on in your life, about relationships, about family relationships, about job relationships. Or maybe it is that if you move forward with a job, it's going to take you out of the home, and that may be causing a big issue in your partnership, because somebody in the home may be looking for you to always be there, looking for you to leave the home, and they might not want to let you go out and do what it is that you have to do, Taurus, to further your career or to further these business opportunities, this raise or promotion that's going on. Maybe something at your job is directly opposing something that's going on in your home, and that would, or something that's going on with your personal self or your relationship. And that would make a lot of sense, because like I talked about, the sun is in Scorpio. You'll hear in the beginning of this video, I'm feeling like Scorpio energy is really playing heavy into what's going on with you. And Scorpio is your opposite sign, hence the full moon, because the moon is in Taurus and the sun is in Scorpio. So it's directly opposite each other. And Scorpio is about hard work. It's about getting ahead. It's about diligence. Scorpios are the strategists. Scorpios work hard. They get ahead. They want to climb the corporate ladder, which is very fitting. I always talk about your opposite sign is like the mirror of you. It has elements of you that are also there, but they may display these traits. You may hold these traits inside. So Scorpio is about getting ahead. The same way Taurus is, but the same way Taurus is about getting ahead. Taurus is more about home and family, more so than Scorpio. Scorpio likes long relationships. Scorpio likes home and family, but Scorpio is more about getting ahead career-wise. They will put that before their family, or they will try to juggle them both. But Taurus is I feel like Taurus would sacrifice career things for the home and family sometimes. So you guys may be having issues. Now I got a low battery. You you guys may be having issues with the job versus the stability at home and the family, and something may be taking you out of the home and family, and people in your life being upset about that. So whatever it is, Taurus, I hope it works out. That's been long enough. If you want a personal reading, if this resonated with you and you want to talk about it further, hit me up. You can follow my Instagram at Astro and Dashyo. So ASTRONDASHYO. That's where I'm at Instagram. The website will be up with my products and my crystals and everything like that for you guys to get from me really soon. I'm anticipating by the end of next weekend that stuff should be up and going. Also, you'll be able to go there and get readings and things like that. I have a limited calendar. I don't do readings for everybody, and I'm even contemplating if I'm going to open up readings for everybody. I typically like to do that stuff in person.
But I don't know what's up with iPhones. They charge you $1,000 for a phone just for it to be a piece of shit. That's why I'm not up with getting every new iPhone that comes out and every new phone that comes out, because it's a fucking racket. It's a conspiracy. But Taurus, put yourself first. That's the main message I'm getting. Put your finances on you instead of investing them in somebody else, and put yourself first in every possible way. Physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, monetarily. Put yourself first. But to finish up this video, like I was saying, I like to do readings for people in person. So that's why I'm not always big on doing personal readings for people over the internet. I'm not even that gung-ho about giving my energy out to a lot of people like that, other than in these astrology videos. And I'm not on video because I just had to finish this up in a voice message because my video ran out, and I didn't want to take the time to keep having to delete videos to have more recording space. But Taurus, I hope you guys have a good end of October, a good November, and holidays coming up. I'm very interested to hear what's going on with you Tauruses, so please leave a comment below. I do reply back to my comments. Any discussion or further discussion you want to have, hit me up at TAROTHELPNOW, TAROTHELPNOW at gmail.com, and let's talk. You know, it isn't always about getting a paid reading. Sometimes I just like to talk to people and have a conversation with people. So if you want a little more insight about what's going on, or you just want to have a simple conversation that doesn't involve a reading or anything like that, hit me up at the email. If it's something that's too personal that you did not want to put down on the comments on the video, do that. And I wish you guys the best. Just stay safe on this full moon. Keep your tempers low. I find it really fascinating. I just can't get over that Chris Paul and Rondo fight. And I did say, you know, people think Pisces are bitches, like the men a lot of times. Like, I think I said this in my car chat video when I was talking about Kanye and Donald Trump being the Geminis. It was either in the car chat video or it was in the last video I did, Aries. I don't know what it was, but I was talking about how people may think Pisces men are gay, or they're soft because they like to dress and look nice, and they're more emotional than maybe like a physical sign like an Aries. But Pisces will come through and whip that ass. You know what I mean? And Rondo did not whip Chris Paul's ass, because Chris Paul got that uppercut in and got that other punch in. He threw they both two-pieced each other. Rondo threw his two-piece, and then Chris Paul threw his two-piece, and they both were connected. They both landed. They both hit pay dirt. So I'm not saying that Rondo beat Chris Paul up, but you may go into something you're not expecting towards, and then you might get hit with something like boom, you know, like you wasn't expecting somebody to come back in that sort of way. And I tell people about Pisces, yeah, you may think that about a guys, but Pisces will whip that ass. Like, I know some quite violent Pisces males who are very strong, like physically, you know what I mean? And they not in no form or no way nobody to be played with or toyed with or anything like that. So not saying that necessarily applies to all you Tauruses out there, but just take that, open your mind, think about the situations that are going on in your life and apply it accordingly. Taurus, keep your cool, keep your calm. Don't go into any situations you're not ready for, and think about yourself first before you do anything or make any moves in these next couple of weeks and months. So thank you, Taurus. Much love to you guys, Madam X, and I'm out of here. Peace.